This is going to be another evaluation of playing cards and, of course, using psychic with playing cards. These are always intuitive readings. When you have a person with you, you always get vibes as you go, and you add it to the cards give you a direction, and then your internal mechanism, your intuition, your hunch, your feelings, whatever, take over. Now, you'll notice that with this spread of cards, there are 8 court cards. There are actually 6 hearts, 6 clubs, 6 diamonds, and 6 spades, which is very unusual. Usually, you don't find such a even mix of everything, but in this case, we do have it. So we're going to look a little closer and a little further and see what we do have. Now, in the first box, which is 1 day, week, or month, you see 2 cards. There's a queen and a jack of clubs. And it means that there's young people that are related to each other because they're the same suit. And right around them, right below them, are 2 black cards and dark cards, I should say. And it means that there's some kind of stress around these 2 people because there are dark cards below them. There is 1 red card to the side of the jack. So there may be some concern over 2 young family members, or a mother and a son. There might be a situation there. With the female, there is no indication of age. You know, females never really tell their age. But with the male, because it is a court card and a jack, we know it's a young male, and we know that they're related to each other because they're the same suit. Now, in 2 days, weeks, or months, because they're in the second position on top, there's some pleasant surprise, as indicated by the 7 of hearts, concerning an adult or older male. And there's a red card below, which is positive, and there's a black cards on below and to the left, but the red card kind of mitigates the situation. And because the 7 of hearts means a pleasant surprise, I would go with the 7 of hearts in that regard. In the third space, there's something about some future plans or something bright around a female. Now, the court cards actually indicate male or female, and like I said, the jack would be a young person. And going back here, because there's a queen and a jack, it could be a brother and a sister, but it could also be a mother and a young male. So there's two relatives together, and there's some stress around them because there's dark cards right below. Now, looking at the third area, 3 days, weeks, or months, don't forget this reading is to take place in a year or less. And each column is 1 day, week, or month. The second column is 2 days, weeks, or months. And the third column is 3 days, weeks, or months, or within 3 months. A simple way of looking at it. And then if we look at the fourth column, that's to happen in 4 days, weeks, or months. There's a message on some news that concerns a young male, and there's dark cards below it, so there might be some stress involved with the message or the news. And it seems to involve some future plans with this male. Now, in the fifth position, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's some kind of a business or a money setback. It relates to a job. And because now we're looking at a double 9, and 2 black 9s means some kind of a setback. So hearing some news about a setback, about a money or business situation, and it may somehow concern this young male as well, which we started with, because these 2 had some influence on this person, and because there's a setback here, it could very well concern this young male. Now, in the sixth spot, there's some news of a wedding, as indicated by the Ace of Clubs. And there's a change in times coming up, as indicated by 2 tens. And because the tens are neutral, red and black, the change of time isn't necessarily bad. And there's a red card right below the ace. So there might be some wedding news or something about a party gathering or a get-together, and there's a change in times involved and it happen in 6 days, weeks, or months. Now, in 7 days, weeks, or months, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, you may hear something about an illness which involves a young male. And there's red cards right below it, and there's a red card right above it. So it may somehow wind up to get better, or there might be some better news, because there's a red card to the left, there's a red card here, above and below. It would indicate that there's some good hope in that situation. And when you have an alternate tens, that means a change in times that's kind of neutral. So not too bad. Now we look at the eighth spot, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's some delays that have to do with an adult or middle-aged person or an older male. But we see it's not a child. And there's some change in plans going along, which are a neutral change in plans. But because the seven of spades has a delay feature to it, there may be a delay, but an absolute change in plans that may or may not come off. There's a red card below, a red card to the side, so that means it doesn't affect the person being read or yourself, whoever's being read, completely. Now, we also know that a King of Spades is a February Aquarius cards, so it could affect a February Aquarius person. I'm trying to show you how to interrelate readings. Now, in the ninth spot, which is 9 days, weeks, or months, don't forget this is 8, this is 9, there's some kind of travel that winds up to be very pleasant, going on, as indicated by 2 red 8s. But there's 2 black 9s, and that indicates some kind of a business situation that's of a personal concern. But the travel or the trip involved with a change seems to be very, very hopeful. So maybe somebody goes somewhere. Sometimes a travel could be just going somewhere. Don't process travel as vacation necessarily. And sometimes what's happening is more important than how far it is. It's a quest or a traveler going somewhere. And it could be for the purposes of a job or something like that. And it seems to be very successful, as indicated by the 2 red 8s. Now, in the 10th spot, again, it's going somewhere, travel, a trip, or a quest. Slight delays in plans is indicated by a 7 of clubs, but nevertheless it comes off very well in 10 days, weeks, or months. Now, in the 11th spot, there's some extra money that comes in through the influence of a young male. Also, as we know, a Jack of Hearts could be a June or a Gemini person somehow involved. Now, in the 12th spot, there's some family or personal news, something about a gift or something like that seems to come up. And again, it's a change in personal plans, which is neutral, which is indicated by an alternate 7s, a change in plans. Now, remember, this 7 up here, which is the 7 of spades, usually causes a lot of delays, but that's not in the 12th spot, that's in the 8th spot. I'm just trying to interrelate this, and this person's having a lot of delays. But as you see, this gives you a good time factor. The double cards, like the 2 9s, the 2 8s, the 2 7s over here, really make it very interesting. The 2 10s over here, which is a change in times, etc., really adds a lot of spice to this kind of a reading. That's why I love it. With 32 cards, you have thousands of combinations, thousands of possibilities. And this is a wonderful aspect, and it's a very intuitive reading, along with a very simple way of doing it.